Welcome back to Viral Scrolls, where the most spine-tingling tales from the darkest corners of the internet come to life. Tonight's story will make you think twice before looking in a mirror again. This isn't just a haunted house story. It's a warning. Because what if your reflection wasn't really you? Turn down the lights. Put on your headphones. This is the last tenant, and once you hear it, you'll never trust your own reflection again. They say old houses have stories to tell. Some creak out memories in the floorboards, others whisper through the cold drafts at midnight. But some houses don't tell stories at all, because the people who lived in them never made it out to tell the tale. Daniel Harper wasn't superstitious. He didn't believe in ghosts, demons, or anything that couldn't be solved with a tired shrug and a strong drink. But when life punched him in the gut, his marriage in ruins, his job gone, his apartment a memory, he wasn't looking for logic. He was looking to disappear. He just didn't expect to disappear, literally. The listing looked like a scam. A huge Victorian home on the outskirts of Massachusetts. Gorgeous but clearly old. And cheap, absurdly cheap. Daniel called the number anyway. The realtor barely let him speak, rushing him through the contract, barely making eye contact. "You're perfect for it," she said with a strange, flat smile. The house was quiet. Too quiet. High ceilings. Heavy wood doors, tall windows that let in pale gray light. It was mostly empty, except for one thing. A giant, full-length mirror bolted to the upstairs hallway wall. Its frame was gold, carved with strange, almost human-looking faces. The glass was flawless. Too flawless. Daniel found himself staring into it longer than he realized. His own eyes staring back. But something felt wrong. He couldn't explain why. The first night, around 2 a.m., Daniel heard tapping. Soft, rhythmic, like fingernails on glass. He got up, expecting to find a tree branch hitting the window. But the sound wasn't coming from the window. It was coming from the hallway. From the mirror. He crept toward it. The tapping stopped. He stared at his reflection. It looked normal. Messy hair, tired eyes, boxers, and a t-shirt. Nothing strange. But just as he turned to walk away, something caught his eye. His reflection turned a second late. His heart skipped. He snapped his head back. The mirror showed him standing still. But he was already unsettled. He laughed nervously. "Get a grip, Dan." The next morning, there were muddy footprints in the hallway. Bare, small, almost childlike, leading to the mirror. Not away. He cleaned them up, confused but not frightened. Yet, that night, they came back. And then the smile started. At first, he thought he imagined it. Passing by the mirror, he'd catch his reflection smirking, just for a second, when he wasn't. Sometimes, he'd be brushing his teeth and catch it looking excited. Eyes wide, like it was waiting. Then came the worst part, the recording. He set up his phone to record the hallway one night, camera pointed straight at the mirror. The next morning, he watched the footage and felt his blood freeze. At exactly 3:12 a.m., the mirror began to shimmer. Ripple. Like the surface of a lake. And something stepped out of it. Tall. Shadowed. Almost human. It stood silently, staring toward the bedroom door. Watching. Breathing. And just before sunrise, it stepped backward and vanished into the glass. He didn't sleep the next night. Daniel tried calling the realtor, desperate for answers. She didn't answer until she sent one message. "You chose the house. It didn't choose you." That night, he tried to destroy the mirror. First with a hammer, it bounced off like he'd hit rubber. Then he covered it with a thick blanket and nailed it in place. The next morning, the blanket was neatly folded on the floor. He began digging through town archives. The house had a history, dozens of owners over the decades. All of them vanished, gone without a trace. No witnesses, no suspects, just one survivor. A man who'd been found wandering the woods decades ago. Naked, bleeding, screaming about a mirror. He was institutionalized. Daniel found a copy of his journal, written in jagged, frantic handwriting. "It doesn't want to kill you," one entry read. "It wants to replace you." That night, Daniel stood in front of the mirror, staring into his own eyes. But they didn't feel like his anymore. The thing inside was grinning now, wide and eager. He lifted his hand slowly. The reflection beat him to it. The next morning, Daniel was different. He was smiling. happy, chatting with neighbors, renovating the house, adopting a dog. The townspeople loved this version of him. Said the move did wonders for his mood. No one noticed the mirror still hanging in the hallway, or how he never looked into it, ever. Then one stormy night, the dog began growling, staring down the hall, whimpering. Daniel walked over to the mirror, tilted his head, knocked softly on the glass. It shimmered. From inside, a pale, desperate version of him slammed on the other side. Gaunt, wild-eyed, screaming, silently from behind the surface. But the reflection, the new Daniel, just stared for a moment, then smiled, turned, and walked away. So, next time you catch your reflection moving just a bit too slow, next time it smiles when you're not, ask yourself, are you the one in control? If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a tale from the shadows. Thanks for watching Viral Scrolls, where every story reflects something darker.